We're in Saints season, man. Are there any surprises? You want to talk about anything specific? Thoughts? Let's dissect it. We haven't talked since the season started.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm surprised that we're 2-0.
Okay.
I'm surprised that we're 2-0 with some of the ways we've played.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been the best quality. You know what I mean? But hey, good teams win bad performances, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, it's encouraging. There's definitely some glaring issues.
For sure.
Offensive line, we can't score in the red zone.
Yeah. Which I don't like that we're attributing all that to Carr right now. Give it time. I don't think that's all on him right now.
Yeah, I don't like that any of the issues are being, put on one person, because I think it's the same issues as last year, kind of. Quarterback, offensive line, and play calling all together.
Yeah.
The play calling's weird. Game 1, Pete was kind of in his bag for a minute there.
Pete's called some good games. I got to give Pete a little credit. Pete's called some good games. He does have these tendencies in moments, though, to make really weird decisions.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's so much play calling. I think it's decision making.
Yeah. Like personnel groupings in certain situations. Like, why would you do that? This seems very simple, but it's, and it feels like big moments. Maybe that's why it sticks out to me more. But other than that, I really feel like he's called some good games.
Yeah, well, especially game 1. I think I saw more creativity in that one game than all of last year. We kind of talked about that a little bit when he was, doing the motion with Shaheed, and you got Olave coming out the backfield. You got some different looks.
Yeah, I love that last week. I mean, I kept throwing it in our group chat. The motion with Shaheed, and they basically have to choose between Taysom and Shaheed. It's it's unstoppable.
Yeah,
he's getting 10 yards of carry on that.
There's obvious, like I said, there's obvious questions. You can question Derek Carr hasn't played the best. He's played well. There's one thing you can't say is he's clutch. You know what I mean?
He's been clutch.
The guy is clutch.
Yeah.
Now he's 2 games and he's had 2 really bad interceptions.
Yeah. Well, he's turned the ball over in his career.
Yeah. He's a gunslinger.
Yeah. It's always been a thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's I still feel comfortable saying that it's a step up from last year at the position.
I do too. I mean, 100%.
Those throws to Shaheed, Andy Dalton's not making those.
Yeah.
Maybe Jameis can make those. Right? But I don't know. But it's a new – I mean, I know it's an offense he's familiar with, but it's still all new. Right?
Yeah.
And then I think when you're under as much pressure as he's been under, that just gets to you. Right? Quarterbacks talk about seeing ghosts all the time.
Yeah.
When throughout the game he's got half a second to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
When he does have time, you know what I mean? It can throw things off. So overall, I think I'm encouraged. Still a lot of questions. I don't think I'm not saying we're going undefeated or anything like that.
No.
But
not a chance.
I'm feeling good. Dennis has this defense rocking.
Yeah.
This
like
defense
Dennis,
is
man.
legit, man. I'm starting to like him.
I like Dennis.
Starting to like him a lot.
I was telling my wife that in the off season, at the end of the year, and then coming into this year, and then now, I think it was in the middle of week 2, I looked at my wife, because my wife was always a Dennis Allen defender last year, when I would be like, man, what? Last year he seemed soft, man. He seemed like I don't know if he was just trying to find his way or what it was. This year he's got a swagger and a confidence to him. I said it in the preseason when he came after, I think it was Foskey, or it was after somebody who was walking off the field, and he was all over him. And I was like, yes, that's what I want. And ever since then, it's just been nonstop. I love it.
You know what does it for me, man? Every time the defense gets a turnover and he's going crazy on the sideline, I'm like, I love that. It's the same thing Sean used to do when the offense would do something great.
Yeah.
But I think I like it more from the defensive side.
Show emotion, man.
There's just something about a big defensive play. And it's I don't know, and the way you could tell the players love them.
Yeah.
Right? But, yeah, is there anybody, let's do this. Is there anybody you're surprised with? And give me a couple or a person or two that you're kind of not, you're being kind of let down by, or you thought would be performing better?
Let down in general. I don't know if I can give one person right now. I'm let down by the offensive line. Not that I thought that they were going to be world beaters, but they're all pros. And you got Penning, who's a first-round draft pick, and I'm thinking they'll be respectable. And then they come out, and man, it just doesn't. It doesn't look great right now. It's like somebody said it during the last game. It seems like one of them is either taking the play off or making a mistake every play, and they're taking turns doing it. It's not like it's one guy over and over.
The only one you don't really hear his name a lot, which is probably good, is McCoy.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not somebody that's really good at judging offensive line play, right? Like, you can tell when somebody just gets beat, but it's hard to tell on the inside who's responsible for what sometimes.
I tell you one. I mean, yeah, it is, because you don't know who's supposed to be passing who off and things like that. I tell you one thing, though, something that's glaringly obvious is that your guard should not be getting beat by a guy that's 50 pounds less than him on a bull rush.
Yeah, that's weird. He was doing so well.
He just got paid, too. A lot of people were upset with that. And listen, it's one play.
Yeah.
It's going to happen sometimes. You're going to get beat. Everybody gets beat.
It is weird with those kind of guys, though, right? Because, like, we saw, 3-4 years of him not being good, and then all of a sudden he was really good. So you do get nervous a little. It was the same kind of feeling I had about Trey Hendrickson, where he flashed a little bit, but then he had that monster season, and you're like, do you base it off of year 4 or years 1 through 3?
And that brings up another good point, not to trump our conversation we're having, but you asked me another question about who's kind of surprised me too, in a good way, I guess. Almost every defensive lineman. I was so worried about the defensive line coming into this season because we changed the whole thing. I feel like we had a great run defense last year, and I was like, man, like, we went smaller and more athletic. Like, is that gonna cause problems in the run game? It hasn't, and not only has it not, we're getting a lot more pressure on the quarterback. I mean, guys like Nathan Shepard and Carl Granderson.
Carl Granderson is about to get a bag.
Dude, I'm telling you. I mentioned Nathan Shepard first because no one's really talking about him, but he's also playing his tail off right now. Like, he's killing it.
The defensive free agents, they've hit.
Yeah, Kalen Saunders is playing well.
Grain of salt. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? But Kalen Saunders can move. Like, that dude is an athletic freak for the position. Right? Shepard, I remember when we signed Shepard, people were like...
They were down on him.
Yeah. People were like, Jets fans are talking crazy about this guy.
Yeah.
Granderson being good is probably one of the biggest keys to the whole defense.
It's been great.
Because that other pass rusher is a question mark with Peyton. Well, I don't know how long Peyton Turner's out now with his turf toe.
The thing's a while.
Yeah.
It's almost, they said it's like the same.
Turf
it's almost
toe
as bad
always
as.
seems to get you for the season. Like, you may come back, but you know what I mean?
We had surgery for it, so he's definitely going to be out for a while.
So, and then you don't know what Foskey was inactive week 1, healthy scratch. So you don't know I don't know how he did last week. I didn't.
Do you think I don't know Bond's abilities here. I know he's more of a pass rush guy. Do you think he can get thrown into the mix a little bit as a defensive end, as a pass rusher? Do you use more looks with him?
Just stand him up and let him go. I mean, I don't understand why they don't do that with him more. That's what he did in college.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about that before, just drafting somebody and then completely changing their position. If it doesn't work, I don't understand why you don't give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good in the preseason, just rushing the passer. Not as great in the pass game or anything like that, but as a pass rusher, he looked solid.
Yeah, like a situational guy. Like, we feel pretty safe saying he's not going to be an every down guy for them on defense right now.
Yeah, I mean, not right now. Yeah,
right. But like, to throw him in there, especially now when you need bodies, throw him in there situationally, see what happens.
Yeah.
Right? But, I mean, whatever they're doing is working.
Yeah.
Peyton Turner missed, and it didn't seem to hurt at all. Granted, you're playing one of the only offensive lines worse than ours right now in Carolina.
That's rough,
but
man.